going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another Transformers related review, and this is the TFC Toys Mad Blender, the last part of the 6-part review of the guys who make up Devastator. And following this, I'm also going to shoot the combined form video, so 2 videos this week for you guys. So this is Mixmaster, otherwise known as Mad Blender, and he's pretty cool. He is a cement truck, but in his robot mode here, he's got pretty good articulation. You do have these wheels that have to fold on the back that can kind of hamper things. They just kind of get a little bit in the way, but you can get him a pretty full range of movement. His arm will move that far up, and you know, you can get a little behind before that wheel gets in the way, but we don't need him to be doing anything crazy like that. You have a shoulder up and down swivel there just because of transformation. The upper arm rotates. You got an elbow. You don't have any wrist articulation except folding it in, which is for transformation. You do have the tilt on his abdomen area, and that's mostly for the combined form. When it comes down to his legs, it's ball jointed down here, so you're going to get plenty of forward and back movement. Swivel up here, a knee right there, and then anything you want to do with the toes, you can kind of put them in and out just based on transformation there. So that covers that. In terms of these things on the side, you can kind of put them however you want. I prefer them like this. I believe the official instructions tell you to put them like this. Yeah, they're pretty, you know, pretty well do what you want. You can give them the Energon Rodimus Prime look here by putting it out like that, which he does better than Rodimus Prime because he still has a head that's pretty cool. So yeah, you have all kinds of options with what you want to do. Let me put this here for now and just leave that. You have his barrel here, and there is a way to attach it to the back. You gotta lift it up, and you can kind of angle this around like this, and that's the other way. I had it right the first time. And you can kind of hang it like that, and then just kind of leave that hanging. I don't really like how that looks. There's some people who have pictures of it online and mods that people have done to theirs to make it better. I personally just leave it off. I don't particularly care. In terms of accessories, you get the chest plate shield for Devastator, which you can just peg right up on the top by flipping out this little black piece. And you have 2 sets of pegs. The front one, or holes, the front set and the rear set, so you can put it wherever you want. And these all kind of add to the playability of this guy. So I'm just going to leave this up here for now. You also have this gun, and a red version of it, of course. This gun is a little bit awkward because you have this handle. Now it just kind of slides on, and you can give them, you know, a regular gun like the rest of the guys. But then you're left with this little handle piece that's just kind of hanging there. This part I don't really like the little handle. You need it for Devastator, but it kind of is in the way for Mixmaster here. What I kind of like to do is I peg it on the side, and even though the handle hangs off, I don't really care. It's a wrist blaster with an extended clip or something of the sort. Now, I started to show you guys this. This is one of the biggest pains for Mixmaster, but it also is what adds the most to him, and it's his mixing barrel. So you gotta pop that apart, then you kind of just have to work at it, and I had a real hard time at first getting this all apart. It's gotten easier the more I've done it, but it definitely is a pain. So then you got this piece here, which you can kind of do, I don't know, whatever. It kind of looks like it could be a gun of some sort, but it's not very convincing to me, so I don't particularly like it. Just like this at least. But if I take it and I kind of plug it into this little purple piece we had and make it more like a shoulder mounted cannon, then I don't mind it quite as much. And you're left with this one little piece here, and I just plug it right into the back there for storage. So yeah, you can give them like a shoulder cannon like that. Now, these barrel parts are in two types of parts. You got the smaller pieces, and then you have the larger pieces. And this is probably the only thing that bugs me a little about these, is because how they come together. You've got the barrels here and the barrels here, and they slide in together and stuff. It means that all the small pieces have one of two patterns, either the single hole or the double hole, and the top similarly has one of two patterns, the double barrels or the single barrel. And because of that, it kind of makes it a little asymmetrical, and I don't know, that kind of bothers me a little. It's just my own personal thing though, I guess. But the reason I bring these up is because all of these have pegs, and they're all guns, and you know, you can give them to him, or you can give them to any of the other Constructicons and they'll hold them. Now, there's a lot more creative people out there than me, and I've seen a lot of different things with this guy. Whether you plug him onto the back and you give him basically like a jetpack. I've seen that. And this is where the playability really comes into play, because now you got him with the jetpack. And again, this is why the symmetrical part bothers me here. And these are going to be some strange looking shoulder cannons, but just another something else we can do with these guys. So you can see, you could give them some big shoulder cannons. I could repeat the process on the other side. I'm not going to bother. Take these and kind of make a complete set like that. I'll take his gun off here. And then I like to make him hold this from the bottom. And these pegs are definitely fighting me today. There we go. I usually do something like that. And then we can do the same for the other side. And then usually I take the spare pieces and just kind of put them on his leg as, oops, I need this one. Put it on his leg. It's just more of those rocket pods. You can really see that the possibilities on this guy are pretty limitless. Take this, you can kind of put that together, make a half thing, and then give him a shield that he can hold. Or actually, what I did was put it on his arm peg here, so it was more shield-like. So you really do have a limitless amount of possibilities on this, and just even being able to build up on the sides of the gun and use its pegs and everything like that, you're just limited by whatever you can imagine. And my imagination can be pretty limited. Now, one thing I did notice, and you can see mine has some stress marks here. That's because in my attempts to try to build something cool, I tried to get the peg into that hole, and it kind of stressed the plastic a little. So that kind of sucks, but what can you do? Let's take all these pieces and let's put them to the side for now. Just leave them naked here. And we should probably bring in the rest of the crew. So we'll start with Neckbreaker, who I still increasingly like more because of the legs. We'll put in Dr. Crank, and we'll put in Heavy Load, and Structor. And if we can find room for him, let's try back here. Can we see him? Can't really see him. He takes up so much room. There we go. X-Graver. And that's the 6 Constructicons here. And they really are a very impressive looking display. Just for a size comparison here, this is a Voyager Optimus Prime. So you can see they're a little bit shorter than Voyager, Optimus Prime. And if you need something else for size comparison purpose, here is Starscream, who everybody I'm sure has one of. So let's get these guys out of the way. You'll see them again later. And let's work on getting him into his vehicle mode. And I gotta say, the transformation into vehicle mode is, whoops, sorry about that. The transformation in the vehicle mode is pretty interesting. So let's go and start getting him back to his alt mode. Now the first thing we need to do here is take the cement mixer and put it all back together. So you want to make sure you have the 2 sets of small ones and the 2 sets of the large ones. We'll go and put the large ones first. I don't believe it matters which ones you do first, but he comes with the large ones in the back. And then we'll do the front ones. And this is where you have to kind of look, because you're going to have a pattern like 2 and 1, 2 and 1. So I got to figure out which way it has to go in order for this to actually peg in with this. So here's the 1, 1, 2, 2. So we want it like that, and then this one should just automatically line up because you don't have any other choice. So once you get that all together, assuming you didn't twist it like I just did, it should all go together. If not, you're gonna have to rotate it around until you find it. And there you go, you have his barrel. And we'll take this little piece we stored on the back and we'll put that back, because we'll need that after. Take the shield part, put that aside, and now it's on to the main attraction. The first thing you're going to do is push down his head. Now, I was worried about his head being able to come back out easy because of how easy it folds down and how far it folds down, but you do have enough room to pull on the part of the triangle here and lift it, and it is a little bit loose on mine. So now what we're going to do is the legs, we can take these little toes and fold them on in, and we'll fold the little heel spurs up to make the bumper. And now we got a lot of rotating to do. So you're going to rotate the thighs at the upper thigh, then you're going to rotate it again down here at below the knee. So that should put that all backwards. You can peg this in now, and you're going to rotate the waist. So it's pretty interesting set of rotations that you have to do to get him into, get him ready to go into this mode. So we're just going to leave it like that. We could probably fold these in, but we're not going to quite yet. So now you want to unpeg the back here just by pulling it out. Just position it out of the way for now, and we'll lift that back black piece, and we'll rotate the hands in here. And then it's a matter of folding his arms up like this. In the position, and you should be able to get these wheels down now. You're going to see basically how this is all going to come together here. You'll rotate this on up. Okay, so to get this guy himself into his alternate mode, what you need to do, start by unpegging this back assembly here, and then push his head on down. We can then rotate his fists on in, and this next part, I always have to kind of do it the first time so I can see which way it's all supposed to fold in. So what you need to do is take this assembly and rotate it, and this side always likes to come unpegged, but rotate it out to the sides like this, and we'll finish adjusting it after. And then you can rotate his shoulders on up, but don't finish going yet, because you're gonna take them and rotate them so his forearms are towards the inside here. like that. And if you have it the wrong way, you'll know, because you won't make a strong tight seal there. Well, not a tight seal, a tight fit, I suppose is the better word. So you leave it like this, and then once it's there, you can fold this up the rest of the way. And you'll see they should fit pretty nicely towards the top there. Now, you can fold these wheels out of the way if you haven't done so in the process of trying to fix it. They do have a tab and slot there just to hold them in tighter. And you'll take this backpack assembly that you moved out of the way, and there's two pegs here to match with these two holes. So you plug it on in, and then you just gotta mess around with these assemblies here, and you know, mine are on the wrong way. So you may have to find yourself opening them on up a tiny bit. Okay, one of them was the wrong way. And then you can close this assembly back up again. Now once you have this all in the right position, which something's not locking here. Oh. Make sure your little gray tab's extended all the way. Mine had folded back when I went and adjusted it, and that's what was holding it up. So now you see you have this tab and that peg, and they will match with what you have here, and you can just kind of fit it all together on both sides. And you got the back of the truck here. Now the legs are possibly my favorite part of this transformation. So what you're going to do is start by rotating his waist, then rotate his thigh, and then rotate the knee. So thigh, knee. Now fold in all the little feet pieces and the heel spurs, which make the front bumper here, and you can kind of peg this all together. And what you're going to do is fold this down and then bend it on around. So you should see that the bottom, these little purple like knee pads, what they were, are now at the bottom. And there you have the truck for the most part. You can take the Devastator shield piece and just kind of put it on the back here, just to kind of give it a certain look. And then you can take the mixing barrel, of course, and you gotta get the hole right. And there you go. We've got Mixmaster in his alternate mode. And I'm getting caught on the table here, apparently. So, he's got a working drum, which still moves. He rolls really well. He's a flat-faced cab. I do wish he had a little bit more detailing in, like, I think if he had like some headlights either down here or up here, something like that, he would be really good. As it stands, the front is a little bit plain and boring. There's the sides, my wheel not pegged in. And there's the back. It's pretty nice looking. So overall, he's a pretty nice looking cement mixer. Well, for size comparison, we might as well bring in the rest of the Constructicons here. And so we got Structor, and Dr. Crank, and Neckbreaker, and I'm out of room. There we go. Heavy Labor. Space Management. 6 pretty well Voyager size guys are not easy to fit. And there's X-Graver. So that gives you a size comparison. They're pretty nice size. I do feel like the scale goes off a little with them, just because of the size of Mixmaster's cab and stuff when you compare him to, say, Dr. Crank, who's a very similar type sized vehicle in real life. So, but you know, it's okay. They're all big, beefy construction vehicles. Alright guys, I had to take a huge jump cut there just because it occurred to me that I couldn't find the purple gun for Devastator. It fell underneath the desk and I just ripped the whole closet apart. Look. Anyway, So we're on to the final parts here, and we might as well do the combined form of the gun. You're going to take the neck breaker gun and the Mad Blender gun, connect them like that, and then this will all plug in here. And it's a tight fit, and unfortunately you don't have any wiggle space once it all comes together, but you make a nice looking gun for Devastator. And I'm interested to see what the repro labels do to add more to this other than just this one piece. I do have them on order, but I really didn't, look at them very much. If you want to see the red gun, here it is. I've been painting mine black along the way. I haven't gotten to Neckbreaker or Mad Blenders yet, but that's what it looks like, and I think it'll look really cool once it's all in black and red. So I really just need to finish painting these. So for the final part of this review, we are going to get this guy to be a foot. And it's really easy. So what you're first going to do is flip the bumper pieces down again, because that's going to help get him off the wheels and make him stand a little nicer. Then you're just going to kind of unfold the cab like this, drop these little heel spurs, which really don't do too much. I mean, you set him down on them, and they just fall down anyway, so they're kind of a worthless little thing, but they give you a little bit there to see. And there you go, he's in his foot mode. He does again have some ankle swivel, and he can hold himself very well because of that. And just to double check, oh, you're gonna need to take that off too when we get to the combined mode. Just to see here though, I think we can, if you want, flip the barrel the other way just to get a little more clearance between there. It's really kind of up to you. He should be able to hold either way. So this is T2RX6. I will shoot the second video now, which is the actual combined form, and we will go from there. See you guys next time.